What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you.
So the Bills blow out the Las Vegas Raiders 38-10, and all is well. Well, it wasn't as easy a week as you might think. We'll have some thoughts on that coming right up. So is there ever really such a thing as a good loss? Yeah, I do believe so. Josh Allen, and he was the first one to tell you this, cost the Bills that opening loss to the Jets because he was trying to kill a mouse with a cannon. Once we knew that Aaron Rodgers was out for the game, Kyle Allen would have won that game, and I truly believe that. The only way the Bills could lose that game was to turn the football over, and that's exactly what Josh did. 3 interceptions, lost a fumble. That's it. He was clearly too amped. It was a season opener, Monday Night Football, coming off that still terrible taste of that Bengals playoff loss. You're in the world's #1 media market, 9/11 celebrations, all the hoopla, and Josh just was too jacked up. And once that happens, and he kind of loses that little edge there, bad things can happen. So Stephon Diggs, Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, Ken Dorsey, several others are constantly reminding their superstar of this, but Allen knows it. So how did a week change everything? My thoughts in a moment, but first a shout out to my sponsors. Blue Tusk Tech, hard for me to say, in Orchard Park, all your computer needs and great back-to-school specials. Global Vending Group of Buffalo, which among other things is reaching kids from all over the world with a special book vending machine program that helps literacy for kids everywhere. It's really a great program. So back to Josh and the Bills dominating, 38-10 win over the Raiders in OP. Well, the win does a lot more for the Bills and their fans than a W that evens the season at 1-1. It's the way that Allen played, and by extension the team, that sent the message that this Bills team is as explosive and united as ever. They will be a force once again. Now the message, take what's there, play within yourself, was received, although I'm quite certain Allen already knew what had to happen. He was 13-4 in games following a loss, 23-4 when he didn't have any turnovers. Yeah, he's well aware of that. And it happened. He was poised. He was forced. He forced some things a little bit, but 2 of his 3 touchdown passes you might consider plays most QBs wouldn't even attempt in the red zone. But he knows himself well and hasn't lost that little swagger and confidence that you need. He still made a couple across-the-body throws and throws on the run that had to be perfect, and they were. The numbers really tell the story. 31 of 37, that's over 80%, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. No turnovers. The Raiders keyed on Allen's running game and held him to very, very little, but it wasn't something the Bills were trying to do anyway. Allen, every now and then, would take a sack or throw the ball away to live for another down, and instead of trying to extend it by giving up too much ground, which sometimes results in a huge loss and a turnover or certainly a drive kill. The Bills' O-line, let's point them out. They had a terrific game. And beleaguered right tackle Spencer Brown had what I think is maybe his best game as a Buffalo Bill. That is very encouraging because that spot has been in question. So many positives. The Bills have a running game. James Cook, and I'm glad they gave him that chance at the end for another carry. That got him over 100. He had 123 on 17 carries, added another 36 with 4 pass receptions. I think you're going to see more of that. Damian Harris and Latavius Murray both run hard. I love it. Especially down by the goal line. They added 33 and 22 yards. Each one had a touchdown in close. Diggs, well, he was Diggs. 7 catches, 66 yards. Gabe Davis, 6 catches, 92 yards. Rookie Dalton Kincaid, 5 for 43 and a good run after the catch a couple times. Great to see Khalil Shakir back in there with an 11-yard touchdown catch. I think he needs to see more targets. The D, and boy, got off to a shaky start. They allowed a surprisingly easy opening touchdown drive. They then held the Raiders to a field goal the entire rest of the game. Linebackers Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano had interceptions. The Bills weren't able to get any sacks on Jimmy Garoppolo, but they did pressure him very effectively, and they just totally shut down the Raiders' running game. Now, maybe this is a sign that McDermott can still make defensive coordinator type adjustments even though he's on the field, and I think it bodes well for that. Can we give OC Ken Dorsey a star? He called a great game. Obviously, he was part of the reason Allen bounced back from that putrid opening game. Well, the AFC East already becoming interesting. You've got your Dolphins now 2-0, Bills and Jets 1-1, Patriots 0-2. The Jets, not the same team without Rodgers. We know that. The Patriots, physical, they do not look like a playoff team. The Dolphins, they're legit. But I think only as long as Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy. And the Dolphins, this is going to be interesting. In 2 weeks, they're going to be in Orchard Park. But first, the Bills travel to D.C., and a Commanders team that is a surprising 2-0, the Bills early 6.5-point favorites in that one. Now, what was supposed to be a week focused on getting back to the basics after that Jets opening dud was anything but that for the Bills. They had a couple off-field distractions presented where, to the point, McDermott and Bean had to talk to the team about it. First of all, you had Bills owner Terry Pegula accused of making racially insensitive remarks to other NFL owners by a former NFL reporter who is filing a lawsuit based on what he was told by somebody else that Pegula said. Pegula has strongly denied the accusation. I worked for Terry on a weekly basis for over 2 years in Pittsburgh with his oil and natural gas East Management Services company, and I absolutely believe him. It's very out of character for him to say something that he's accused of saying, but we'll see. So there's that. And then a couple days later, a local sports reporter who works for the Bills organization was overheard on an open mic. Boy, in that career, you've always got to treat it like a loaded gun if there's a microphone around. I got caught myself a couple times. Anyway, this person was overheard suggesting that Stephon Diggs is tough to approach for interviews and might even say F you to your face. Diggs heard it. She apologized, but Diggs publicly responded that he found the comments hurtful and insulting. But Diggs, for anybody concerned or wondering, is all in. He was leading the fans, singing the shout song on the sidelines and sitting next to Allen on the bench at times. But the bottom line here, this victory, for now at least, a statement that the Bills' window is still wide open. Von Miller will be back in a couple weeks. And Allen is Allen, and we'll take that. Thanks again to Blue Tusk Tech in Orchard Park and Global Vending Group in Buffalo. We'll see you soon.